how do we feel when we're walking down the road or down the street and then we see someone that we think might be homeless or someone that's begging? And you may have a mixture of emotions. Perhaps one of them might be compassion. Your heart goes out to the person and you want to help. Maybe there's some uncertainty that you want to help, but you don't quite know how, or if you have the time. Maybe there's an element of helplessness that you're feeling like, well, maybe I could give some food, maybe I should give some money, but I'm not sure whether that will really help. And you're not really sure what to do. The aim of this short talk I'm giving is to help equip you to have compassionate and helpful conversations with people that you think might be homeless. Before I worked for Hope Worldwide, I wasn't very aware of the support that is available to people experiencing homelessness. And I didn't realize that many people who beg are not actually homeless and use the money to feed an addiction, for example. And I also didn't know what to say to someone who was homeless. One of the things that helps me to have compassion when I see someone begging or I see someone I believe is homeless is that realizing that very often people who become homeless or in that situation, things have happened that are beyond their control, like bereavement, losing a job, problems with their benefits, a mental health issue. Then many times people then become hidden homeless. They're staying with friends or family or somewhere out of sight. And then it's only a matter of time before some of them sadly end up on the streets because all the other options have been exhausted or because they didn't know how to get the help that they needed. And working for Hope Worldwide, I'm really glad that many of the people that we help are housed before they get to that situation, before they have to experience rough sleeping. So a big thank you to all of you who support our work. One of the best known parts of the Bible related to helping those in need is the parable of the Good Samaritan in Luke chapter 10, where Jesus tells how a man was robbed, how he was left for dead on the road, and how a priest walked by, saw the man, but walked by on the other side. And then a Levite saw the man, but walked by on the other side. And then the last character in the story is a Samaritan who stops and tends to the man, puts him on a donkey, and takes him to an inn and promises to return. At the end of the parable, Jesus asks, which of these three do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hand of robbers? The expert in the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise. When we hear go and do likewise, it's not always obvious what to do. I know that it's not good to just walk by on the other side when I see someone in need. Now, sometimes I do need to get somewhere, and so I can't always stop, and so I might sometimes just smile to someone or just say a quick hello. But when I do stop and talk, I've been glad that I did. One thing that has helped me is realizing that the Good Samaritan didn't do everything for the man himself. The donkey, the innkeeper, and the inn were involved. And the good news is that thanks to the teaching and example of Jesus and the actions of those who were inspired by him, there are lots of organizations working with people who are homeless. And often when you see someone begging or on the street, there is an organization that's working with them. It's not like that nobody is helping them. That's very rarely the case. So if you get talking to someone and you do find out that nobody is helping them, then there are things that you can do. For example, if someone's rough sleeping, you can make a referral to StreetLink. If someone needs food, the site Next Meal will tell you where they can go and find food and what organizations are distributing it. If they're not claiming benefits, but they could, then a local day center can usually help. There are many times when I've stopped to talk to someone that I've found out they're getting help and they don't want money from me. They're just grateful that someone has stopped to talk and to say hello and to ask how they are. Now, there have been other times when people don't know about the help that was available and have been really glad to find out about it. And if you want to know what help is available, there are lots of links to useful websites on our two-step website. One time I was talking to someone outside my local Tesco, and this was pre-COVID, and I found out his name and situation, and I asked if he knew about the local day centre where he could get food, which was just down the road. He said that he didn't, and so I showed him, kind of pointed out where it was, and he said he would go there first thing the next day. Then I asked him if he wanted something now, And he told me exactly what he wanted from the Tesco that we were outside. So I went and bought it for him and brought it out to him. And after I gave it to him, he initiated a fist bump with me. And this was pre-COVID, obviously. And I realized that by asking, listening, empathizing, responding, and taking action, that I had actually been a friend, even in that short interaction. And him initiating a fist bump with me, he was treating me as a friend and giving me encouragement. And it was really encouraging interaction. The acronym ALERT can help you remember how to help. The A is the first letter, and that is for ask. And that's the most important thing to remember from this talk. If you see someone in need, ask how you could help. So it's awkward to start a conversation, but it helps if you get down onto their level, introduce yourself, and you can just say something simple like, hello, how are you? Or if it's hot or rainy, you can comment on the weather, say, oh, it's hot today, would you like some water? Or something like that. I usually say something like, hi, I'm Rob. I just wanted to ask, is anyone helping you? Or if you need any help. If I have my children with me, I might introduce them as well, because I want them to learn to be friendly and have compassion too. So A for ask. After you ask, it's really important to listen, and to listen carefully to what they say. As I said, many people are already getting some help and don't mind sharing about their situation and what they are trying to do about it. And as you listen, empathize. Try and relate and empathize and have compassion. So empathy and compassion are really very powerful. Many people become homeless because of things beyond their control. And even if you can't help directly, people will really appreciate that you took the time to listen and to empathize and not to judge or patronize them. So after asking, listening, and empathizing, the next thing to do is to respond. Depending on what they share, you might be able to do something to help. Or maybe you can just offer some encouragement or just talk to them about things. But share what you can do. So for example, if they're rough sleeping, then you could make a referral to StreetLink. You need to find out some details about them and where they're sleeping. And there's an app or there's a website or a phone number that you can call. And then a local rough sleeping team can come and find them. You could also find out about local organizations that could help so that you know already, or you can find out after you speak to the person. You could ask them if they want something to eat or drink. If people ask for money, I usually say that I don't give money and offer to buy them something instead. And then after you've had that response, you've responded to what they've said, then the last thing is to take action. So after asking, you ask, listen, empathize, respond to what they say, and then take action. Do something. So that could be perhaps buying them something. It could be going away and making a StreetLink referral, doing a little bit of research about where it could help them, and then maybe going back and telling them. Or it may be just saying, well, I'm really sorry to hear about your situation. I'm really glad, though, that this was what I said last week on Saturday. The man told me that he had a social worker. He had somewhere he was staying in a garage, but some Mungos were going to be helping him find some accommodation. So I thought, well, things are going in the right direction. I really hope things work out for you. And I wished him all the best. Of course, with all that I've said, obviously, we do need to stick to the COVID guidelines. So if you are speaking to someone, you do need to maintain that distance for their sake as well as yours, and obviously to observe with government guidelines. But it is possible to help. And I do hope that what I've shared today has equipped you to have compassionate and helpful conversations with people who are homeless or people who are in need. Thank you very much.